Hey there, friends, and welcome back to the Healthy Beyond 40 podcast. So if you're here, chances are you've been thinking about how to exercise regularly. Maybe get into that routine that works, or even start exercising for the first time in a while. Maybe you've set a goal to lose weight this year, but you're not sure where to start. Well, you guys are in the right place. Today, I'm going to be talking about something I get asked all the time. Should I focus on body weight exercises, or should I do weight training with weights? So if you're wondering how to build strength, get fit, and stay consistent without getting overwhelmed, then this episode is for you. Hi friends, and welcome to the Healthy Beyond 40 show. I'm Michelle, mama 4 and military wife, and I'm passionate about helping women get healthy from the inside out so they can feel better and live their best life. Do you feel like you're struggling to lose weight and get in shape? If you're ready to develop healthier habits, exercise consistently, and lose weight sustainably, then you're in the right place. I combine my expertise from my doctorate in physical therapy to my experience as a health coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher to bring you actionable steps for a healthy lifestyle. No magic pill here, so lace up those shoes and get moving. All right, so let's dive in it today. So first, I want to go over what are body weight exercises. So the basics, body weight is when we are just using our body for that resistance, for that strength. And remember, as we're talking about exercise today, we are meant to use our bodies. We're meant to move them. We're meant to strengthen them. God created us to use our muscles to be strong and to work. And we just live in a really sedentary society. So probably in the past, we didn't have to have specific time to exercise because our day and what we had to do around our house, or to wash our laundry, or to feed animals, to work on a farm, to do all these other things, was so much strength training and exercise already. But that's not where we live today, most of us. So we have to be very intentional about adding exercise in and using our muscles the way they were intended to use. So when we use our own body for body weight exercises, think of squats. You can add weights to that, but you can do squats without any weights. Push-ups are a good example, and they can be really hard. And again, with push-ups, there can be a progression. So we can start push-ups against a wall. Then maybe we might go to like a couch where our feet are on the floor and hands are on a couch. Then we might go to a knee push-up, a full push-up. So there's a way to progress body weight push-ups to get to that, because a full push-up is really hard. You can do planks, and just like a push-up, holding a plank is a really hard body weight exercise. You're going to feel those muscles burning. Even when you've done planks for a while, it still doesn't take too long for me to feel that burn. And yoga can be a body weight exercise. When we're in a type of lunge and we're holding it, we feel that burning, that muscles working. So we're not requiring any extra equipment, and we can build that strength. And the nice thing about body weight exercises is they can be done anywhere. So this can be great for traveling. This can be great for getting started at home with workouts. Like, we don't have to jump into a gym membership or buy all this fancy equipment. We can start with a body weight workout to get us started, and then add to maybe some of that equipment that we have. And a lot of the times, anytime we're doing core training is typically body weight. Obviously, there are some exercises we could add weights to if we're working our core, but a lot of it is just body weight exercises. And again, we can feel those muscles burning without using any additional weight. And I also like body weight exercises because we still have to use the correct form, but it lowers that risk of injury. So especially for someone starting, for example, with squats, even though we can add weights to those, we want to start with just that body weight, nothing else. We want to learn that good form. We want to make sure we can breathe, because a squat is actually pretty complex. We want to protect our knees. We don't want our knees to go over our toes. We have to think that we're sitting back and sticking our butt out almost. We want to engage our core so our low back isn't arching or rounding. And so there's a lot of things to think about, but it's just like riding a bike. Once you know how to do that and you've done it a bunch of times, it's easier. Then you can add weight and bump that up to really keep increasing that strength. And so another body weight exercise, because it's not requiring any weights or anything added to it. You do need a bar as a pull-up. So when I was 40, I finally learned how to do my first pull-up. I followed a program and learned the specific skills needed to be able to get to that first pull-up that I hadn't been able to do probably since I was a kid. I was in gymnastics when I was a kid, so I imagine I could do a pull-up then. But I had to learn how to engage my lats. I had to work on different things to build up to my pull-up. And also, I just want to share, I didn't spend a lot of time doing it. I looked at a few different programs, and I went for one that was 10 minutes versus like this other one was like 40 minutes. I'm like, there's no way I'm working out for 40 minutes. So I did the 10-minute one. It recommended to do it 5 days a week. I'm like, I know I can't do that. I'm going to be too sore. I did it 3 days a week. So I made it work for me, and I was able to get to where I wanted. So we don't have to overcomplicate things or make things longer and harder than they need to be, but we do have to know the techniques and strategy to build our muscles and to reach those goals that we want. So quick review of some body weight exercises you can do at home. Squats, learn how to do them correctly. So squats, you can do a wide-legged squat too. You can do push-ups, all those variations. You can do planks. You can even have your arms up like in a T and do little arm circles. Those shoulders will start burning in no time with no extra weight. Yoga is a really great way, especially a strength-focused yoga, to increase strength. Holding those different warrior poses. Holding a chair pose, which is basically a squat, and lifting your arms up where your arms are up by your ears. It doesn't take no time for that upper back, shoulders to start working. So just holding your arms straight up by your ears in a little mini squat, you're going to feel those arms and upper back working. And that is just body weight. So even though I would consider myself fairly strong and I've been working out for a while, if I do that and lift my arms up as I am doing a chair pose, I can feel it. And I just think that's wonderful when we can work our muscles with just our body weight. All right, so let's go into weight training a little bit. So in weight training, we're going to use external resistance. So something outside of us like dumbbells, kettlebells, barbells, resistance bands to really challenge our muscles and load them even stronger. Because when we load our muscles stronger with a heavier weight or a band, we're stimulating that muscle growth. And this is really critical as we age. We want to maintain our muscle mass as much as we can at the base, but we really want to increase our muscle mass because it's going to start to decline. It does get harder as we get older, but it's not impossible. You can at any age get stronger. You can at any age learn how to do a push-up. You can at 50 years old learn how to do a pull-up if you've never done one. You might need to strength train and work up to it, and there might be some other factors, but you can build muscle. And the thing when we are really building our muscle mass, you guys have heard me say this in some of the past episodes recently, is muscle is going to burn more calories at rest than fat. So it's a really powerful tool to increase our metabolism and for weight loss. So some studies even show that strength training increases our resting metabolic rate, what our body burns, up to 7%. So this is really helpful as we're aging. If we're able to keep or increase that muscle mass, we're going to have a stronger metabolism. And another big one when it comes to health is bone density. So lifting weights strengthens our bone, and that helps to reduce that risk of osteoporosis and fracturing our bones. So most of us, if we're still 40s, 50s, maybe in 60s, we're not quite thinking of this, but we really want to continue to increase that bone density, whether we are older in our 70s or whether we're still in our 30s or 40s. What can we do to strengthen that bone and strengthen the connective tissue around the bones? And lots of studies will talk about weight training. And commonly, if someone gets diagnosed with osteopenia, which is what happens before osteoporosis, the doctors typically recommend doing weight training. But you guys don't have to wait for your doctor to tell you to do that. And so the other thing that's especially different with weight training versus the body weight is you can do a little more targeted areas on your body with weights. or bands. So for example, I can work just my bicep muscle on my arm by doing bicep curls with weights. As I'm doing push-ups, I'm working a lot of chest and there's other muscles, but it is a little more harder to isolate certain muscles. So the weights give you a lot more variety of the exercises that you can do. Body weight, you are limited. And then when you add the weights, you're able to really increase the variety of exercises and ways that you can strengthen your body. And friends, I just want to pause here and I want to ask you, how much easier would it be to hit your goals if you had everything laid out for you? All your workouts, all your habits, no more guessing, no more YouTube rabbit holes trying to find a workout, and definitely no cookie cutter programs that don't really fit your needs. And that's exactly what I offer through my on-demand personal training app. You get a customized, tailored plan for you, your goals, your schedule, your amount of time, whether that's 10 or 30 minutes, and your fitness level, where you're a very, very beginner, or maybe you've been exercising for a while and have some strength and can do some harder workouts. Plus, you're going to have a coach there, that's me, to encourage you, answer questions, and adjust your program as life happens. So if you're ready to make this a time where everything starts to click and you can develop consistency, I encourage you to set up a free call with me and talk about how we can get you moving forward with no stress, just reaching those goals, creating a program that's customized for you so you can get those results you're looking for. If that's you guys, hit pause right now to this podcast, go to the description down below and click that link to set up a free call. Or I'll also have a link where you can find out more information about my personal training app. Okay. So let's go a little bit more into the weight training. And I was saying how weight training can provide more variety. So we can do those isolated movements like bicep curls. We can do a tricep extension that just works the back of arm. We can do just a calf raise and have some added weights. We can do bands around our legs where we work the outside or the inside of our legs. We can also do compound movements. And this is one of my favorite things to do with clients. Once they have a strong foundation and they know how to do exercises and they have some strength, they have some of that muscle memory, then I like to do compound movements and combined movements. So we might do a squat with a bicep curl. What I like about these is they're very efficient. So you're able to get a lot of exercise done in a short amount of time. And sometimes it actually gets your heart rate up because you're using so much at once. Now, so I've talked about both of these. And what I really like to do for myself and typically for a lot of my clients, but it depends on their preferences, is to combine both of these. So to combine that weight training with body weight exercises. So for example, for me, it varies what I have going on. Typically 2 to 3 days a week, I'm going to do weight training and really work my muscles harder. So for me right now, I'm still working on my pull-ups. So I'm up to 3 pull-ups right now. But when I do that, I'm really maxing out. And when you do a pull-up, you're using so many muscles. So I'll do my pull-up attempts, however many I get, and then I'm going to do leg exercises. And then I sort of rotate back and forth, or sometimes I do rows or different upper body exercises. But I'm typically doing a full body workout. So I'm working all my muscles, arms, legs, front, back as much as I can. So I'm doing that 2 to 3 days a week. And then what I do the other 2 to 3 days a week is yoga for strength training. So I'm doing yoga where I'm feeling my muscles burn, and I typically only exercise 30 minutes or less, which I usually recommend for most of my clients too. We don't need to exercise for a super long amount of time, but we do need to stay consistent over time. So those other days I am doing yoga, so I'm getting that body weight strength training while I'm also getting in practice to deep breathe, to stretch, to work on my balance, these other components of exercise that are also important. So it really creates a nice balance to my program. And for me, myself, sometimes I will do more like the 3 strength training days and 2 yoga, or I might flip that depending what I need. And it usually depends what I have going on in my life and if I'm feeling more stressed. If I'm feeling more stressed or we're more busy, I'm going to do 3 days of yoga and maybe 2 days of strength training. So I might flip-flop those a little bit, knowing what I need. And I do this for my clients too. Or sometimes I'll have clients who are traveling and they need to transfer to all body weight exercises. So we're going to do yoga. And then I also have some traditional strength training workouts that are just body weight exercises that you don't need any equipment for. So those can be nice when we're traveling. And so even though you guys can hear I'm a fan of strength training and body weight exercises, really anything to build our muscle, remember the key is consistency. And to go with that, it's also what you're going to do. So for example, if yoga for strength training is what you're going to do right now, and every time you think about lifting weights, you dread it, you avoid it, that's not going to work for you right now. So maybe it is just the yoga or just a body weight exercise. So it has to be something that you're willing to do. And sometimes we have to learn how to do that to be able to enjoy it, because it doesn't really feel comfortable when we don't know how to do things at first. It's going to be a little hard. So if you haven't lifted weights before and you're learning, your brain is using a lot of energy trying to learn how to do that squat correctly and do those different exercises. So just know that that's going to take up a little more brain space and energy. But once you stick to it and you're learning the motions and movements and you get stronger and it feels good, then you're going to have more enjoyment with it too. So make sure that you're finding something that you enjoy. You're giving yourself a little grace period when you're trying something new to really discover if that is something you will enjoy or not. And before we wrap up, I want to invite you guys to my free Healthy Beyond 40 Facebook group. It's a supportive space for women just like you who are working to build strength, lose weight, create healthy habits. So inside, I share different tips and motivation, and you guys have the opportunity to post in there and to ask questions to me and to other people in the group, and really surround yourself with a community of women who are looking to get healthy, because we need all the extra support and encouragement we can get. The more we surround ourselves with like-minded people, people who want to get healthy and care about health, the more likely we are going to be able to do that. So make sure you guys check the description down below for that. And especially if you guys need any support, please reach out. All right, friends, I hope you guys have a good week and keep taking one step forward.